Be honest. Last Black Friday, you bought something you didn't need. Maybe it was a TV. Maybe it was an air fryer. Maybe it was a $40 set of bath towels in a color you didn't even like. But they were 60% off, so obviously you had to have them. Obviously. And here's the best part. You felt smart about it. You walked out of that store, or closed that laptop, with the quiet satisfaction of someone who just beat the system. You saved money. You were responsible. You planned ahead. You told yourself it was a good deal. You told yourself you were in control. You weren't. Welcome to Black Friday, the one day a year Americans voluntarily sprint into a Walmart at 4 in the morning, trample a stranger in housewares, and call it a holiday tradition. The turkeys aren't even cold yet, and we're already losing our minds over a blender we will use exactly twice. But here's what nobody tells you. Black Friday isn't a shopping event. It's a psychological operation. It's been engineered, down to the lighting, the music, the countdown timers, the fake prices, to bypass the part of your brain that makes rational decisions and hand the wheel directly to the part that thinks buying a second waffle iron is a form of self-care. And the wild thing? It works every single time. On everyone, including the people who know it's happening. Let's talk about how. It starts with the anchor, the price anchor. You see a jacket. Retail price, $200. Black Friday price, $80. Your brain doesn't ask, is this jacket worth $80? Your brain asks, how far is 80 from 200? And the answer feels like winning. It feels like you found something, like you discovered a secret. But here's the thing about that $200 price. It was never real. In a significant portion of Black Friday deals, the original price is either inflated specifically for the sale, held artificially high for the weeks before, or just made up entirely. The $200 exists for one reason only, to make $80 feel like a miracle. That's called anchoring. Your brain needs a reference point to assign value, and when it doesn't have one, it uses whatever number it sees first. The retailer knows this. The retailer has always known. The retailer set that anchor on purpose, specifically for you, before you even knew the sale was happening. Let that sink in. Now let's talk about scarcity. Because nothing, and I mean nothing, shuts down rational thought faster than the words, only 3 left in stock. This is primal. This is evolutionary. The human brain evolved to respond to scarcity because scarcity used to mean death. If there were only 3 berries left on the bush, you grabbed them. You didn't evaluate whether you were hungry. You grabbed them because scarcity meant urgency, and urgency meant action. Best Buy knows this. Amazon knows this. The little countdown clock on that checkout page that says, deal ends in 07:32. That's not a clock. That's a threat. Your nervous system reads it as a threat. And when your nervous system perceives a threat, your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for long-term thinking, logic, cost-benefit analysis, goes quiet. And your amygdala, the panicking lizard part of your brain, takes over. You stop thinking, do I need this? You start thinking, what if I don't get this? Those are completely different questions, and only one of them leads to buying a Roomba at midnight. Here's where it gets darker. You've been primed for this moment for weeks, maybe months. You've seen the ads, you've gotten the email, you've heard the phrases, biggest sale of the year, don't miss out, prices this low won't last. And every time you saw one of those messages, your brain filed it away. A little bit of anticipation, a little bit of excitement, a small dopamine signal that says something good is coming. By the time Black Friday actually arrives, you're not shopping. You're releasing tension. You've been in a low-grade state of anticipatory arousal for weeks, and the purchase is the relief. The checkout button is the release valve. The credit card confirmation email is the hug. Retailers don't sell products on Black Friday. They sell resolution. They create a craving during the weeks before, and then they sell you the cure. Tell me that's not you. Let's talk about the social layer. Because shopping alone is already a minefield. Shopping while everyone around. You as buying things is a whole different disaster. Social proof is one of the most powerful behavioral triggers known to psychology. When humans are uncertain, When we don't know whether something is a good decision, we look at what other people are doing and use that as a signal. It's a shortcut, a heuristic. And it works, because most of the time, other people have information we don't. Except on Black Friday, everyone is equally confused. Everyone is operating on the same manufactured urgency, the same inflated anchors, the same dopamine spike. The crowd isn't evidence that this is a good deal. The crowd is evidence that the marketing worked. But your brain doesn't know that. Your brain sees 500 people lined up outside a store at 6 in the morning and thinks, they must know something. Better get in line. Better grab one. Better not be the only person who misses this. This is how people end up owning things they have never once used. Not because they wanted them, because wanting them felt like what everyone was doing. And then there's the identity play, the one that's the most invisible and the most effective. At some point, Black Friday stopped being about deals and started being about personality. There are people who are proud Black Friday shoppers. It's a thing they do. It's part of how they see themselves. They plan it. They have strategy. They talk about it. They post about it. The shopping isn't just shopping. It's a ritual. It's belonging. It's identity expression. And that's exactly where the trap closes. Because you can't reason someone out of an identity. You can show a Black Friday shopper every study about price manipulation, every example of fake markdowns, every piece of data about post-purchase regret. And they'll nod politely and go right back to checking the Walmart website. Because at that point, the product isn't a product. It's a symbol of being smart, of being a provider, of being someone who prepares, of being the person in the family who handles these things. You're not buying a TV. You're buying a version of yourself. And that version of yourself is always on sale. Read that again in your head. Now let's talk about what happens after. The part nobody includes in the ad. There's a concept in psychology called post-purchase rationalization. Once you buy something, your brain immediately begins constructing a justification for why it was a good idea. Not because it was a good idea, but because the alternative, accepting that you made an irrational, manipulated, emotionally driven decision, is too uncomfortable to sit with. So you tell yourself you needed it. You tell yourself you'll use it. You tell yourself it was a good deal. You reorganize your closet to accommodate the new thing. You mention it casually in conversation. You might even look up reviews after the fact, specifically searching for positive ones, to confirm what you've already done. This is called confirmation bias. Layered on top of post-purchase rationalization, your brain isn't evaluating the decision anymore. Your brain is defending it. Your brain is now working for the retailer, doing their job for them, convincing you that what happened was your idea all along. And the truly extraordinary part is that this happens automatically. You don't decide to rationalize. Your brain does it to protect you from the discomfort of feeling manipulated, from the embarrassment of admitting you got played. So you never get the feedback. You never update the behavior. And next November, you do it all over again. Here's the last piece, the one that makes this whole system bulletproof. Knowing about it doesn't stop it. That's not me being dramatic. That's documented. Researchers have shown that people who are explicitly told about anchoring, told that the original price is fake, shown the manipulation in real time, still get anchored, still respond to the inflated reference price. The knowledge is in one part of the brain. The behavior is being run by a completely different part. This is the part that should genuinely bother you, because we like to believe that intelligence is protection. We like to believe that if we understand something, we can control it. That awareness equals immunity. It doesn't. The engineers who design these systems, the behavioral economists on retailer payrolls, the UX teams optimizing the checkout flow, the people who decide where to put the countdown clock and how, read to make the limited time badge, they know exactly what they're doing. And they know that knowing doesn't stop you. That's not a flaw in the system. That's the whole point of the system. If this is making you uncomfortable, that's the idea. If you want more of this, the mechanics behind the decision you think you're making, you know where to find it. Black Friday isn't a day. It's a dress rehearsal. It runs the same script the other 364 days a year. On car lots, in grocery stores, in subscription pricing, in every app with a free trial that requires a credit card. The sale is always happening. The anchor is always set. The clock is always running. Now you know how it works. The question is whether that changes anything, or whether you'll close this video, see a notification about an early Cyber Monday deal, and click anyway. No judgment, just data.